An interesting political strategy has become apparent since the vice presidential debate. The Biden-Harris ticket is refusing to say whether they want to increase the number of justices on the Supreme Court and then fill the extra slot with liberal judges, changing the entire makeup of the court. It is an unpopular maneuver called court packing.
To let people know you're a senator. I'm not going to answer the question.
Why wouldn't you answer that question?
The question is, the question is,
radical left.
Will you shut up, man?
Listen,
Since when does a candidate for president get to pass on a question because it might become an issue? Of course it's going to be an issue. Everything a candidate says is a potential issue. The answer, in the words of Joe Biden, was malarkey. Here's the reason that he doesn't want to answer the question, because a recent Washington Post ABC News poll shows that only 32% of Americans think it's a good idea. Other polls have shown similar numbers. Americans simply do not want to add more justices to the Supreme Court. And during the Democratic primaries, Joe Biden agreed with them. He was adamantly against court packing.
I would not get into court packing. We had 3 justices. Next time around, we lose control. They had 3 justices. We began to lose any credibility for the court has at all.
So why doesn't Joe Biden just come out and say he's against packing the Supreme Court? Because the far left of his party is all for adding more justices to the Supreme Court.
Can you be a serious Democratic contender if you're not willing to consider some form of court packing?
You cannot be a serious Democratic contender if you do not talk about at least court reform. We think court expansion is the right option.
The Biden-Harris ticket has simply chosen the option of silence. They are stuck between a rock and a hard place, or in this case, between the majority of the American people and the far left wing of their party that they need to win this election. One of the reasons that analysts believe that Hillary Clinton lost the 2016 election is because the far left of the Democratic Party, many of whom supported Bernie Sanders in the primaries, thought that Hillary Clinton was too moderate, and they didn't like the way she treated Bernie Sanders. So they either stayed home or voted for Donald Trump in protest. The Trump campaign sees this as a real vulnerability for the Biden-Harris ticket, as we saw during the vice presidential debate when Kamala Harris followed Joe Biden's lead and refused to answer questions about court packing.
The American people deserve a straight answer, and if you haven't figured it out yet, the straight answer is they are going to pack the Supreme Court if they somehow win this election.
Congress is the one who set the number of Supreme Court justices at 9 in 1869, and it's been that way ever since. The United States Constitution doesn't say anywhere how many justices should sit on the Supreme Court, but it does give Congress the power to ordain and establish all federal courts, which has been interpreted to mean they can decide how many justices will sit on the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court actually started with 6 justices in 1789, and it's contracted to 5 and expanded to 10, all for political reasons. It wasn't until the Judicial Act of 1869 that it was set at 9, and it's been 9 ever since. Even the very popular President Franklin Delano Roosevelt couldn't change the makeup of the Supreme Court. He was upset because the court that was conservative at the time declared some of his New Deal policies as unconstitutional. So he proposed legislation that could expand the court to as many as 15 justices so that he would get his way. As popular as FDR was, the idea of packing the court was not. And the American people and a Democratic Congress rejected it. Look, I truly do not believe that a President Joe Biden would pack the court. He just doesn't want to alienate Democratic voters. But by not answering the question, he could alienate independent voters. Either way, we deserve to know the answer. And the media has been embarrassing for coddling Joe Biden and refusing to hold his feet to the fire and insist that he answer the question about court packing. A question he has gotten away with just refusing to answer on an issue that could fundamentally change our democracy.
The radical left.
Will you shut up, man?
Listen, who is on your list, Joe?
We deserve better. I'm Larry Mendte. We'll talk again soon.